In the current day, we eat, write, get information, work, and communicate from the comfort of our homes. We enjoy the technological and ease because of the discoveries made by humans from antiquity, which have since been developed gradually. Now, let's take a long trip back in time. Around 6500 BC, people in the Middle East discovered subsistence farming, in contrast to the search for food they previously did. This allowed them a reliable source of food. Tribes and clans could also settle in an area rather than move around searching for food. It also brought about trade by barter as people exchanged services for agricultural produce. In 3400 BC, humans in Sumer, Mesopotamia, also discovered writing as ink was put to paper to make the Sumerian manuscript, the earliest form of writing. We've come a long way from subsistence farming and ink thanks to technological advancements. To this day, we never fail to give credit to the humans that reportedly set us on this progressive journey. But there have been arguments that maybe our history is flawed, and they weren't humans after all. Purveyors of extraterrestrial life believe that early humans could not have discovered these things themselves. Instead, they were visited by intelligent extraterrestrial beings who influenced early discoveries and advancements. In fact, extraterrestrial enthusiasts believe that deities and gods worshipped by our ancestors were carvings of these creatures that had brought ease to their lives with discoveries. In 2018, Chapman University in California conducted a survey on whether people believed that the lost city of Atlantis existed or not. 57% of the participants believed Atlantis existed. Extraterrestrial theorists seem to convince many people, but is there any basis for their claim? Well, conspiracy theorists have pointed out evidence of alien contact on many ancient structures. Let's look into some of them and decide if they are noteworthy. The ancient structure they've attributed the most to aliens has to be Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza, also called Pharaoh Khufu. On the 31st of July 2020, Elon Musk tweeted, "Aliens built the pyramids of..." This tweet had about 60,400 retweets and over 485,000 likes. It's unsure if Elon Musk tweeted this to stir up something or if he did some research and actually believed aliens built the pyramids. However, Egypt debunked this claim and asked him to visit the country for comprehensive research on the pyramid's history. The pyramid was erected in Giza, Egypt over 4,500 years ago. It is the largest Egyptian pyramid, originally 481 feet and now 454 feet. Modern-day historians believe it was constructed by 20,000 men over 27 years, while Greek historian Herodotus wrote that it took 100,000 men and 20 years of work to erect this structure. Legend says Egyptian ancestors built the pyramid, but after much pondering, some researchers are convinced this information is false, and instead, aliens did the work. The structure was built with limestone, mortar, granite, and millions of hewn stones that weighed at least 2 tons each. These heavy materials were transported to the site and mounted brick by brick to make the pyramid without any tools or technology. Yet, history expects us to believe humans did the work. Scientists concluded that such a structure, even with the advancement of technology, will be a Herculean task. Besides the questionable construction, the structure has remained in good condition compared to others built several years after. In fact, this pyramid is the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and interestingly, the only one still in existence. Does this appear to be the work of ordinary humans? Some scientists believe aliens are a better explanation for this mystery. The Maui statues on Easter Island in Polynesia are also structures that certain researchers don't feel comfortable crediting to ancient humans. These statues, of about 900 in total, discovered by Europeans in the 18th century, are estimated to have been carved between 1400 and 1650 AD by the people of Rapa Nui. They are monolith carvings of humans weighing about 14 tons each and 10 meters in height. The statues are speculated to portray their idolized ancestors. Only the massive head with a 13-ton hat can be seen. Researchers believe the rest of the body is embedded underground. The figures were made in their quarry Rano Raraku with tuff, which is compressed volcanic ash that is easy to carve. Every detail up to this point is believable, but these statues no longer stand in Rano Raraku. They were moved to the island's perimeter and placed on a megalith platform called Ahu, which also served as tombs for each ancestor depicted by the statues. Researchers have problems with the transportation of the figures and the huge hats placed on top of the heads. A few researchers believe monoliths could not have been carved at this point because they had no tools. There was no form of technology to move the statues either. Theorists have settled on aliens as the source of the Maui statues. In 2017, an anthropology undergraduate and a physics professor at the University of Oregon experimented on the possibility of mounting the hats on the statue by using photography and 3D modeling. They discovered that the hats contained different petroglyphs from unknown communities. Also, they noticed carvings of a symbol on the hats that can't be interpreted or linked to anything. With these number of mysteries clouding the origin of the statues, some archaeologists settled on extraterrestrial life as the answer. Besides, the Rapa Nui natives that people claim to have built the statues cannot be traced to any tribe. So, did they simply fall into extinction? Better still, did they ever exist in the first place? Lastly, the Nazca lines in southern Peru have also been a subject of heated debate regarding their source. The Nazca lines are geoglyphs imprinted in about 1,000 square kilometers of soil in the Nazca Desert. They are estimated to have been etched into the land between 500 BC and 500 CE. The geoglyphs consist of about 800 lines, 300 figures, and 70 animals, including a spider, hummingbird, dog, lizard, and plants. There is also a humanoid nicknamed the astronaut that has caught archaeologists' attention. According to historians, the Chavans and the Paracas, who initially settled in the area, started drawing the lines. Then Nazcas completed it. Swiss writer Erich von Daniken disapproved of these historians' claims in his 1968 book, Chariots of the Gods. He said the lines were etched in by aliens who used the area as landing sites for their UFOs whenever they visited Earth to mine metals. These lines have since been copied and incorporated into modern airports as landing strips. To further prove his point, he added that the astronaut figure is a drawing of these flying gods, meaning aliens. In response to these claims by purveyors of extraterrestrial beings, researchers have provided answers to the unsolved questions that led them to their alien conclusions. Let's examine these answers and decide if they are satisfactory or not. Historians have produced an old handwritten Egyptian document from ancient times that contained a story about the people who built the Great Pyramid. According to the record, it was built by a group of men called Team Great, and headed by a man named Merer. They collectively transported the limestone blocks on a ferry through the River Nile, which took 20 years to achieve. The men were reportedly paid with expensive clothes throughout the time they worked. Extraterrestrial enthusiasts questioned the carving and transportation of the Maui statues, but explanations have been provided whereby the men reportedly used Tony chisels, made from the hardest rock in the area, to carve the monoliths. Insofar as transportation of the statue, scientists say they were placed upright on a structure made from dense logs, then pushed a little bit to roll down. The area in question has been completely cleared of all wood, and several statues didn't make it to the island's perimeters, lying scattered around. Scientists claimed that they kept cutting down trees to move the figures and couldn't transport the rest when they ran out of forest trees. American archaeologist Charles Love conducted an experiment where he created a replica log structure and statue. With the help of 25 people to push it, he moved the statue in 2 minutes. In a nutshell, this experiment solved the transportation mystery. The mystery of the Nazca line has been linked to drought. National Geographic explorer Johann Reinhard explained that the region experiences only about 20 minutes of rain every year. This explains why the geoglyphs are still intact to date. There hasn't been heavy or constant rain enough to make them fade away. He added that the lines are trails to places where the ancient natives gathered to perform rituals to the gods for rain. The drought also explains the animal geoglyphs. For example, hummingbirds exist in tropical areas where rain falls constantly, and spiders are deemed a token of rain. These animals and a few others are metaphors for the natives' needs, which is water. The remaining animals are not unique to the Nazca lines as they are seen in other Peruvian areas. Each side provides compelling arguments depending on your personal belief. Do you believe we are not alone in the universe, and there are extraterrestrial beings that our ancestors had the privilege to meet? Or aliens don't exist, and our ancestors were intelligent enough to figure out everything without help? Go to the comment section and tell us which side of the fence you stand on. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Likewise, turn on notifications so you never miss a video.